We interrupt this regular scheduled program about cats to bring you a news broadcast.
Today on News Now, we have breaking news on the demand for revision and reinforcement after Versailles, the Great Depression in Europe, and the U.S. and New Deal put in place by...
Hi there, and welcome to News Now. I'm your host, Grace Harrington, and today we are discussing what happened after World War II.
Let's go to Maggie, who's going to tell us what happened next. Hey, girl.
Hello everyone, and I'm coming to you live from France. After the Treaty of Versailles, national groups in Eastern Europe felt cheated and demanded adjustments. However, some of the big victorious powers, such as France, believed that the treaty was not properly enforced. All of these disagreements led to political turmoil all across the country. Oh no! Germany began to have financial problems and huge diplomatic issues. The French began to put extensive pressure on Germany to pay the debts. But with Germany already having money issues, it was an almost impossible feat. This caused Britain to become more sympathetic to Germany.
Most definitely. That's why many attempts are made to ease Germany off its debt. Even America was trying to help.
Very true, but that also caused America to have financial issues. In fact, most of the world was in a financial crisis. President Herbert Hoover announced a one-year moratorium on the payments of all international debts. Then the Lorraine Conference ended this time of reparations.
Oh gosh, that's terrible. But it wasn't all on America. European farmers had extensive difficulty with their debts. This leads us back to the topic of Germany and all of their many issues. German farmers were, of course, having a lot of trouble and started to support the National Socialist Worker Party.
Wait a second. National Socialist Worker Party. That sounds familiar. And not Germany. Oh my God, Nazis!
Yes, Landon, Nazis. Obviously, we know who the eye candy is in this operation and who has the brains.
Okay, alrighty. Anyways, Europe couldn't make money as is. And when the entire world's economy collapsed, Europe couldn't make even a dime. Then, when the 1920s and 30s rolled around, the governments couldn't handle the extensive pressure, unemployment, and social insecurity of the Depression.
Just to let you know, a depression is a financial or industrial slump in a long period of time, not a medical condition.
The leaders in Europe, such as Britain's Prime Minister, Ramsay MacDonald, organized a national government, a combination of conservative, liberal, and labor parties that remained on power from 1929 to 1935 when the conservatives took over again.
Yes, and France's government was composed of socialists, radicalists, and communists. These political experiments, as it were, reshaped the world history and created a Soviet government in Russia, a fascist regime in Italy, and a, yes Landon, Nazi dictatorship in Germany. Now we're cutting into a commercial break with a word from our sponsor.
This week on Ancient Aliens, we are investigating how the aliens affected World War II. I'm Georgios Slakos, and we are going to discuss how, during World War I, the term Foo Fighter was used by Allied aircraft pilots to describe various UFOs, mysterious aerial events in the skies over Europe and the Pacific. Of the war, the world entered a time of substantial achievement and technical advancement. People argue that the technical advancements humans have experienced since World War II have been achieved with the help of extraterrestrial life and equipment, such as the SR-71 Blackbird. Let's interview it. Young lady we have here, what do you think about the aliens of World War II?
Could humans do this by themselves? I don't think so. It was obviously aliens.
Okay. There we have it, guys. It was aliens. The theory has suggested that the development of nuclear weapons sparked an increase in interest in humanity's evolutionary path, ultimately leading to a stage of hundreds of abductions and close encounters. Tune in sometime next week to learn more about this amazing theory.
Hello again. To continue from where we left off, In 1920, Warren Harding became the new president of the United States. He promoted minimal involvement abroad and conservative economic policies in the U.S.
Americans had new inventions to thank for their newfound prosperity. Many of these inventions were helpful appliances to make everyday life that much easier. Hey Landon, you would know. What are some of these great new inventions?
Yes, some of the new electrical appliances that were very appealing to the consumers were radios, phonographs, washing machines, and vacuum cleaners. Even better, the industry was growing very rapidly, and wages for many workers were rising.
During this time, Roman Catholics, Jews, and especially African Americans experienced segregation and were terrorized by the Ku Klux Klan. Also going on during this time was the Prohibition Amendment. Maggie has more on that.
The Prohibition Amendment of 1919 was an amendment signed to forbid the making and selling of alcoholic drinks. No parties here. Now Grace will tell you how 10 years later, the New York stock market crashed.
In 1929, the collapse of the New York stock market led to a period of time referred to as the Great Depression. 4 years after this crisis started, it was time to elect a new president. The American people needed a new president with a strategy.
Roosevelt promised American people a New Deal. The first 100 days of his presidency, Roosevelt closed all banks and only permitted stable institutions to reopen.
And that's all the news has for you today. And thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Bye.